Hey everyone! Today we're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit some of the most iconic yet forgotten items from the 1980s. Let's see how many of these you remember. We're talking about the stuff that was so cool back in the day, like you wouldn't believe it. We're gonna dive deep into the fads, the toys, the gadgets that defined a generation. Get ready to feel super old, you guys, because we're going back in time. Alright, first up, we gotta talk about the Walkman. Remember those things? This was before iPods, before Spotify, before you could even imagine listening to whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted. The Walkman was revolutionary. You could walk around with your own personal soundtrack. People would make mixtapes for each other, spending hours trying to get the songs in the perfect order. It was a whole thing. Seriously, the struggle was real. You'd be walking down the street, headphones in, feeling like a total rock star. And then the tape would get all tangled. Ugh, the worst. You'd have to spend like an hour with a pencil trying to wind it back up. But hey, it was all part of the experience, right? And don't even get me started on trying to find the right song. You'd be there, fast-forwarding, rewinding, hoping you didn't accidentally record over your favorite track. But you know what? It was worth it. The Walkman was a game changer, and it's something I'll always remember from the 80s. Okay, next up, we've got the Rubiks Cube, the ultimate test of patience and brain power. This thing was everywhere in the 80s. Everyone had one, or at least knew someone who did. It was like this colorful puzzle that you could never actually solve, but you kept trying anyway. I swear, I spent hours upon hours twisting and turning that thing, trying to get all the colors to line up. I think I maybe solved it once. Maybe? It was a long time ago. But you know what? Even if you never actually solved the Rubik's Cube, it was still so satisfying to just fiddle with it. The clicking sounds, the way the colors would shift, it was mesmerizing. And there were so many different patterns you could make. People would even hold competitions to see who could solve it the fastest. It was wild. The Rubik's Cube was more than just a toy. It was a cultural phenomenon. It represented a time when people weren't afraid to challenge themselves, even if it meant spending hours on end trying to solve a seemingly impossible puzzle. Chapter 3. Cabbage Patch Kids, Dolls with a Difference. Let's talk about Cabbage Patch Kids, the dolls that had everyone going absolutely crazy in the 80s. These weren't your average dolls. Oh no, these babies were unique. They came with their own birth certificates, adoption papers, the whole 9 yards. It was like adopting a real baby, but, not. And the funny thing is, they weren't even that cute. They had these weird, squishy faces and yarn hair. But for some reason, everyone had to have one. People were lining up for hours, fighting over them in stores. It was insane. I remember my parents actually camped out overnight to try and get me one for Christmas. That's dedication. Looking back, it's kind of hilarious how obsessed everyone was with Cabbage Patch Kids. But hey, that's the 80s for you. They were a time of big hair, bold colors, and even bolder toys. And you know what? I kinda miss it. Chapter 4. Atari 2600. The Dawn of Gaming. Alright gamers, this one's for you. The Atari 2600, the gaming console that started it all. This was before PlayStations, before Xboxes, before online gaming was even a thing. We're talking simple graphics, pixelated characters, and some seriously addictive gameplay. Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Donkey Kong. These were the games that defined a generation. We'd spend hours huddled around the TV, joysticks in hand, battling it out for the high score. And the best part? No lag. None of that internet connection nonsense. Just pure, unadulterated gaming bliss. The Atari 2600 might seem primitive by today's standards, but it holds a special place in the hearts of those who grew up in the 80s. It was a time when gaming was about bringing people together, about sharing a love of simple yet challenging games. Chapter 5. Polaroid Cameras, Instant Memories. Last but not least, we gotta give a shout out to Polaroid cameras. These babies were the epitome of cool in the 80s. Forget about waiting hours for your photos to develop. With Polaroid, you got instant gratification. You'd snap a pic, and within minutes, you'd have a physical copy in your hand. It was like magic. And the best part? The white borders. They were perfect for writing little messages or dates on your photos. It was like having a built-in scrapbook. People would stick their Polaroids everywhere. On their fridges, in their lockers, even on their trapper keepers. Polaroid cameras captured those spontaneous, candid moments in a way that digital cameras just can't replicate. They were a reminder to live in the moment and to cherish those memories, even if the photos themselves were a little faded and blurry. That's a wrap! Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more trips down memory lane. What 80s item do you miss the most? Let us know in the comments. Seriously, tell me everything. What were your favorite toys? What did you have hanging on your bedroom wall? Let's reminisce together. And hey, if you had any of these items back in the day, you're officially a legend. Until next time, stay rad.